Man, y'all probably like, Bad Jazz, where the fuck you been? Depressed. Hello everyone, long time no see. This video is probably not gonna be the average person's cup of tea. This is just me pretty much like pouring my life out in this video. I have avoided even making this video for a long time, like for months. This is round 2 of me trying to keep my shit together while I talk about this, because I will be discussing some very touchy subjects. But overall, I want y'all to know that I am okay and that this is real shit right here. Even though y'all know me as whatever you've pictured or conspired in your mind of who I am, this right here that's going to be discussed in this video is the real shit that I've experienced the past really 2 years. But I just really wanted to break the ice because I have taken like a hiatus, and it's not even just because I did not want to make videos anymore. It was because I was taking a mental health break. Fuck all this other shit. I'm just gonna jump straight into it, guys. The past 2 years, mainly like the past year and a half, have been very, very hard for me mentally. I reached such a level of depression that I have never reached before. It actually took me over a year to even recognize that for what it was. And with that being said, it explains why I just have not had the same momentum, motivation, creativity that I'm used to having being an influencer. I've had a lot of thoughts and feelings and realizations, revelations the past couple months, and I knew that I wanted to talk about this, but I did not know. I was still processing my own feelings. I know that you guys have been keeping up with me traveling overseas, you know, being in a relationship. I was kind of public, then I became kind of private, and then I just stopped posting altogether about my significant other. I was traveling overseas to be with this person, and I do not blame this person whatsoever for the position that I put myself in being overseas. Even now when I get asked, oh, how's Germany, how's Spain, how's Greece? Guys, I am not overseas anymore. I really tried to make the best of being overseas. It was an amazing experience and opportunity, and I almost regret not being able to fully be present in that moment the way that I could have been to fully enjoy it. But I'm gonna keep it together this video. I'm really going to try to. I already have tissues. This was not going to be a crying video, but I'm giving y'all the rawness of me. And a lot of these topics that I'm going to be discussing are still very fresh. So I'm a human being, tears are going to fall. And I'm just like, it's very uncomfortable for me to even put myself out here like that, because I feel like I'm fucking exposing myself. But the main reason why I feel comfortable enough to even record myself right now is because I know that depression is a very real thing, and you know, relationships are a real thing, being an influencer is a real thing, and it's just like, I know that by me just being transparent with you guys is going to touch somebody. So going back to 2 years ago roughly, when I moved to Germany, that was like a huge chapter that was taking place. I was letting go of my life as I knew it, and I was starting a new chapter in a completely different environment, different culture, different people, different language, literally different and new everything. And as optimistic as I was, I didn't realize that that was actually a very traumatizing experience for me. Even though I was pushing myself to do these spontaneous, adventurous very like radical things, in my mind, I was like, this is something that is going to be great for me. This is something that is going to be life-changing. I'm doing this for love. I'm doing this for, you know, what I feel like I deserve. I deserve to go overseas. I deserve to travel. I deserve to be with the person that I love. But like, reality struck me really fast. And I'm not going to go too deep into my relationship details, but overall, guys, I lost myself. I lost myself living overseas. I lost myself being in this last relationship, and I'm just now, mind you, that shit was end of 2020. It's almost the end of 2022, and I'm just now getting back to rediscovering myself and finding out new parts of myself. I say all of that to say this. Fun fact, I can be an actually very emotional person, especially about the things that I really care about or the things that I'm passionate about. So even talking about this, I'm not crying because I'm still just like so sad and so hurt. But having to transparently relive these experiences that I had to go through, and having to reprocess, re-feel all of those feelings again, it's like you're gonna cry, you know? But we gonna keep it cute. We gonna keep it cute. The main things that I was struggling with being overseas was I lacked purpose. I was used to a routine every day, and I knew obviously that routine is gonna change. But I thought, me just being optimistic, I thought that I could swiftly go into a different routine. And me moving altogether was an adjustment in itself. It was just constant adjustment. So a lot of my energy went towards that. I had no motivation to create. I had no mental capacity to be creative. And it killed me inside. It really did. Because I'm used to being a creative person. I'm used to expressing myself creatively. And unfortunately, being overseas, from that first stop in Germany, it started in Germany, and being that I was unaware of how that really did affect me, I found myself trying to cope with drinking. People have their ways of escaping, and guys, I was in quarantine overseas. They were not playing any games. Even if I wanted to work in a salon like I did before, not only was everything shut down except the grocery store, it just wasn't practical. It was a whole ordeal. I had to get a work permit, had to get squared away by the government. And then on top of that, it was a language barrier. It was not practical. So I was staying indoors for hours of the day. If I even left the fucking house, it was to go to the grocery store. It was still a beautiful experience. I will not take it back for anything. And my relationship was the one thing that I really clutched onto, because me not having any real purpose, or at least feeling that way while I was overseas, I was there for that person. So that was like my main purpose at that moment. I clinged onto them, and even though deep down I was very, very sad and just lost, hopeless, I still, chose to be with this person. They supported me throughout my entire depression. the downfall of it all is my depression and trying to merge lives with this person did lead to us not being together anymore. And that, along with everything else, definitely came crashing down on me all at once. And it's like, that's why I avoided talking about this shit for so long, because I didn't even know if I wanted to talk about it. But I'm really trying to connect more with you guys and really just show that other side of me, because outside of the beauty, the tattoos, whatever you guys follow me for, I'm still a real person and I go through shit every day just like anyone else. I'm still learning myself. I'm still growing. I'm still trying to understand. I'm still trying to heal. But yeah, I've been through a lot the past 2 years. Really, like, I say the past 2 years because that's where it started, but the past year for sure is where it hit me the hardest. I gained a shit ton of weight out of nowhere due to depression, due to drinking, due to eating garbage, like eating my feelings, you know, just trying every source to cope. And being that I was unaware of the root of my depression for the longest, I just aimlessly tried to find happiness somewhere else. When you're down and you've hit rock bottom, it sounds cliche to be like, oh, when you hit rock bottom, the only direction you can go is up. But that shit is true, because when you've hit your lowest point and you really feel like you can't go any lower, that's when you really try to say enough is enough and you try to look for solutions. And for me, the turning point was my 25th birthday this past April. On my fucking birthday, that shit hit me like a ton of bricks, because I thought about where I was and where I am now, and I was stagnant. And I'm one that loves growing, evolving, challenging myself, being creatively expressing myself. And I wasn't doing any of that. I was really trying. I really tried to overcome it while I was in it, but it wasn't until I hit my lowest point that I was like, okay, this shit sucks and enough is enough. Because throughout my depression, I became so critical of myself. I didn't even want to post myself anymore. I couldn't even take pictures of myself anymore. I couldn't look at myself, because I just, in a sense, I hated myself. And just being that I've never really had those feelings before, I didn't know how. Oh God. Being that I had never been through that before, I didn't know how to handle it. And it affected my relationship so heavily. I still love this person so much. And walking away from my relationship really set it off for just what all had taken place, you know? It just solidified the amount of damage that had been done. But on the flip side of that, it's allowed me to focus and prioritize myself again. I'm only crying because I'm really grieving. I'm grieving the loss of my relationship, the loss of the person, they're still alive for the record. But I'm also grieving for that version of me who really like had to go through that shit. I've overcame a lot even within the past month, and I'm proud of that. Even me doing this, speaking on it and just being real with you guys like that, I'm proud of myself for doing that. You can judge me all you want. I've spent enough time judging myself about my own fucking feelings. I can give a fuck now. Moral of the story is, I no longer give a fuck. If it interferes with my happiness, if it interferes with my well-being, if it interferes with what the fuck I got going on, I don't want it. I simply cannot allow that in my life. And you know what else? I'm trying to be as graceful as possible about all of this, because when you go through life experiences that you've never dealt with before or never been through, you don't know how you're going to handle it. And when you think back on it, as long as you've grown from it as a person and overcame it and you don't choose to stay in that place, you can look back on it and still be thankful for the experience, because life is always going to have ups and downs. And this one was a doozy for me. Okay, this one really like took me through the fucking ringer. If you're watching this and you are currently dealing with depression, or if you feel like you are about to go back through a depressive episode, or if you have a past of being depressed, all of it is temporary. Give yourself that time to feel, but only for so long. Don't get wrapped up in it and not acknowledge the fact that you are unhappy, because then it becomes a vicious cycle, and next thing you know, months have passed and all you have to show for it is just being fucking sad and feeling even more disappointed in yourself. Take it one day at a time, through little actions, little promises to yourself to do better and to be better, and stick with that shit best you can. It's the little things that will get you out of that. And lean on the people that care about you and love you, because there are people out here that love you and will support you through that journey, getting out of that dark place. You're gonna be okay. That was a lot. But at least now y'all know. And I'm back from my hiatus. I have dusted myself off. And not only am I coming back with that heat, but I'm gonna be consistent this time. And I say that every time, but I have something to prove this go round. Okay. And I think we're gonna start off with my new base routine, because I want y'all to know. So I've literally been crying my eyes out, and the base has not moved. I could go to an event right now and you never know. And the real kicker is, it's a $5 foundation, but we're not gonna get into that. We have a lot more to discuss in the future. I love you guys so much. Thank you if you made it this far through this video. Please like drop any kind words or your own experience so we can chat it up and just give each other virtual hugs. Until next time.